Alright, we're going to review and shoot this Cyelee Cat SRS6 Pro. This is brand new by Cyelee. This has their STIG-RS emitter in it. It's supposed to help for people that have an astigmatism like I do. It's also a 6 MOA dot. So I'm actually rather curious / excited to try this because I always use their 2 and 3 MOA dots, which are some of the not only brightest, but most crisp in the industry for me, even with my astigmatism. So since this is actually geared towards somebody with an astigmatism, and the fact that I've never used a 6 MOA before, real excited to try this out. So obviously, as you can see there, it's for the RMSC footprint, 407K, 507K. There's your dimensions and such. IPX7 waterproof, as you can see there. Seeing what other stats they have on the box. Usually everything you want to know is on the box. It's got a lockout mode, so you can, a certain combination of buttons, you can lock it to whatever brightness setting and everything, and it will lock it from accidental button touches. So if you actually do happen to head straight into battle with this thing, you can set it that way to where no accidental buttons hits are going to turn it off or change the brightness or anything like that. Of course, you can turn it back off when you're done. It's got auto on, auto off, shake awake, or you can just use it manually. It's got 2 night vision settings, so super dim that you can use it with night vision headgear and not go blind. And then again, these are always fully daytime bright. And we got full sun today, so you'll be able to see that for yourself, provided I remember to get images of the reticle down here, which I always include in the video, so stay tuned. Towards the end, we'll have images the best of my ability of the reticle. You see they're advertising up to 50,000 hour battery life. Obviously, that's going to be on a lower brightness setting. 1 MOA adjustments. Again, waterproof, fully submersible, 6 MOA, red dots. Let me get this guy pulled out here. Alright, so inside the box, they include this little Velcro patch. There's your instructions there. And as always, Cyelee, for one, they're great instructions. Plus, they give you the little quick reference cards there for zeroing. See if I can keep the wind from blowing this stuff away today. And always a lifetime warranty with Cyelee optics, which is a huge plus. And I've reviewed over a dozen of these things now, never had an issue with a single one, including torture testing one well beyond what it was supposed to survive, and it survived. So I've had a ton of these, never once needed to use the warranty, but you do have a lifetime warranty. So there's your little cameo cloth screen wipe, a little decal sticker. That should be our guy right there, as you can see there. You got a little rubber cover for it to keep dust off of it and such when you're not using it. It's got a lanyard hole there, so you can, attach it to whatever and not lose it while it's off and in use. There's your tools there. And then Cyelee, as always, includes a ton of hardware, different thread pitches, different thread lengths and whatnot. I've never had one of theirs not be able, it is possible, but they include so much hardware, it's always mounted up to every single pistol I've ever tried to put them on. So typically it comes with whatever you need to mount it to whatever. And we're going to put it on this Shield Plus today, if I can get this thing out here. So that's what we're going to mount her up on today. There she is there. So just a nice little guy. Like I said, RMSC, which is obviously RS. RMSC is always going to be, a little bit smaller there. Coated lens. And nice rounded edges, so no snag points. You got the front ramp coming out there, so you can use it to rack with. And, yep, side battery tray, so you do not have to dismount to change your battery when it eventually does come time to do so. And you can see it's clearly marked there for your windage and elevation, which way you turn it for which way you need it to move. Alright, there she is mounted up on my Shield Plus. And one other thing I always like to point out, these screws include a dry type thread locker on there, that blue that you see on the screws there. And these are really nice because they're heat activated when you screw them in. And you don't have to wait for them to set up, dry, anything like that, like the sticky dropper you would use of yesteryear. So it's real nice. You can just install it on range and then you're ready to go. I've never had them come loose. And when I use that blue dropper stuff, the Loctite, I've had those come loose if I don't let it dry overnight. So that's also a nice feature that all those come with instant thread locker on them. All right, this thing's pretty cool. It's gonna probably look horrible on camera. It's difficult to get these images. Always looks way better in person. Yeah, it's like half that size. But you see how it's like easily perfectly round even in the camera, which the camera always shows them perfectly round typically anyways. But compared to their 2 and 3 MOA dots when I bring it up, you know, even because I do have an astigmatism, I do see a little bit of starbursting. When I look at this one, it is perfectly freaking round. So that's pretty amazing technology there. It really does work. And again, depends on where I hold this thing. It's at least half that size. It's not that big. Maybe slightly less than half that size. But perfectly round to my eyes, whereas the other ones aren't. They're a little bit starbursty for me. So that is amazing. And the bigger dot, which again is at least half that size, the camera's not focusing in on it right. It'd probably help with quicker target acquisition as well. I'm going to try to get it set up to where I can show you, like get it to focus on it and get it a little bit closer to what I'm seeing. Oh, also, by the way, as you can see, see, it did it there for a second. Made it look pink though. I have this brightness all the way up, so as you can see, even against a white target in full sun and the light colored dirt, there you go, you can kind of see it there. Super bright, as you guys can see there, but it's more crisp and robust, more red deep hues to it, and it's actually too bright for me on full brightness. So I'm gonna have to turn it down quite a, I don't know, 3 or 4 clicks, just because it on all the way bright, it is actually too bright for me. So there, you know, like I said earlier in the video, these things are definitely daytime bright. So yeah, this one's so bright I gotta turn it down a little bit. But again, you can turn it down so far to where you can't even see it without night vision stuff. So broad range spectrum, whatever brightness level you want it to be, it's gonna give it to you. All right, we're gonna start out here. First shot's 7 yards on my shoot and see splatter target, whatever you want to call it. Link for that target stand and targets I use in the description, along with way more stuff. Like the ears and safety glasses I'm wearing today, absolutely love these by Shell Shock. Make sure you check them out, linked in the description. These are the most comfortable safety glasses and ear pro I have ever used. So glad I have them now. It's such I want to say luxury, because everything else prior to those just sucked. So here we go, 7 yards, first shot. So see which adjustments we need to make. Yeah, I was gonna say that second shot, I definitely pulled that one. I knew as soon as I pulled the trigger, because I flung that one clear over here. We're just aiming center mass, and we got 1, 2, 3 right there. So just need to bring it down a little bit and just a hair to the right. All right, got our safety on here. Where are we at here? There's our elevation. It says counterclockwise for up, but we need it to go down, so we're going to turn it clockwise. And I'm not doing the math on the 1 MOA clicks or anything like that. I'm just winging it. And we needed to go to the right slightly. So let's try that out. Which, by the way, I don't know if you could hear it in the video, but I am getting audible click feedback from those, as I always do. All right, once again, pulled a shot, that very first one. I knew as soon as I pulled the trigger. But then we went 1, 2 there, which I'm okay with it being a tad high. I can adjust it if I want, but that should be good enough for now for us to get started knocking the steel down. Missed that last one right over the top.
Alright, got just a few rounds left here. Only brought one box. So these are laser rangefinder confirmed, 15 yards here. Link in the description to this one if you want to get yourself a good budget rangefinder. Comes in well under $100. Been using mine for years, love it. So we're going to see if we can pick off these basically headshots here. 15 yards, I'll be right behind the camera. Those bowling pins there are about 4 inches across at the medius part. So here we go. But that one's stubborn, as you can see there. And then we came back and hit it again. And that was kind of rapid fire, so, you know, dots really make longer range precision shots like that easy. Provided that you're accurate enough and your pistol is accurate enough, which mine is. Better, but like I said, they're using their STIG-RS emitter in there. That's specifically for the astigmatism, and like I said, it's perfectly around for me. Whereas their regular ones, even though they're some of the best I've ever used, with my astigmatism, they do still have a little bit of starburst on them, whereas this one does not, which is crazy because I'm not used to seeing a perfectly round dot. So it's very neat. So yeah, great little RMSC dot there. Even if you don't have an astigmatism and you just want a, you know, 6 MOA, there you go. Even if you don't care about that and you're just wanting a good quality lifetime warranty RMSC for under $2 there, you know, I continue to support Cyelee because they are the best optics I've ever used in the price, and they are proprietary. As far as I know, they don't copy other designs and have, you know, other people make them for them. They're their own company. That's why none of theirs look like any of the others. I mean, similar, yeah, because everybody's copying everyone out there in the industry. But there's a lot of them. You can tell there'll be like 4 different optics from 4 different companies that all look exactly the same, except for having a different company name on them. Cyeelee's not that way. Plus, like I said, I'm pretty sure Cyelee is one of the few that actually have the lifetime warranty there. So, but yeah, if you do have an astigmatism and you're wanting relief for that, this is definitely one to go here with for RMSC. I have their other one in the RMR footprint, 407C, 507C, that we'll be testing next. So stay tuned for that if you're looking for an RMR footprint, and it's a little bit larger window and whatnot. But for your little RMSC, little carry guns there you go. And like I said, I've been testing their optics for years, well over a dozen at this point. Never had an issue out of a single one. Check out the parts, accessories, and optics playlist for the reviews on all the other ones if you want to check those out. Again, this one will be linked in the description with a discount code. For any of the other products you see me use in my videos, like my target stand there, targets I use, steel target, chronograph, rangefinder, scale, glasses, muffs, all that and more, links in the description. And for some of my favorite products that I cannot link to on YouTube, be sure to check out my campsite page. Thanks for stopping by and checking this one out today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to catch you on the next one.